Okay, so a bit more progress to show here, and also I found one of those misalignment issues that I was talking about in the last issue that I had remembered from back in 2008 when I had originally created this 3D model of Ravenloft. So I went in, I finished cleaning up all the levels of geometry, at least the flat plane geometry, really just stacking all the levels on top of one another. And then I've added some basic textures to identify, what is a floor, what is an actual wall, and what is a railing or a parapet. So, here is the upper towers, and this is, of course, the spire of Ravenloft. And you come down in, and we have the upper floors. And primarily, I use these spiral staircases as my primary guide for how to line up the levels, because these two staircases pass through almost every level of the castle, which makes it easy to kind of fit everything together. Still got to do all the large spiral ramps, but I might wait for Blender for that because SketchUp doesn't do wide sweeping curves or twisted surfaces very easily. However, the spirals are rather pretty simple geometry, just laid out in a circle, so that was easy. So the problem I ran into is once you get down into the dungeon level, the first level of the dungeon was very easy. It all lined up without any problem whatsoever. However, when I got down to the sub-dungeon and I mapped out the torture chambers and everything, and I created this stairwell along that has a stairwell and a hallway that comes out over here by Strahd's tomb. And then from that, measured out and around. And I found out that if you place the outside covering for Strahd's parents' tomb directly below the overlook at the height that it suggests, by looking at the map and reading the module text, the entire floor, if you go by that stairwell alignment, was shifted over about 20 or 30 feet. So I ended up having to shift it over sideways just to get it to line up and then bring it forward 10 feet. However, once I've done that, that's all fine. I can adjust that stairwell length and make it line up okay. The problem is the spire of Ravenloft's central column should actually appear over in this area. The spiral staircase leads down into the straight 20 by 20 corridor that leads all the way down into the parents' tomb. However, that's not actually where that circle projects to. If you go straight down, it actually ends up over here where I've put this little gray circle. So I'm going to have to make some modifications in two places. I'm thinking that I'm going to leave the circle, the spiral landing where it is. However, have it land so that the party will exit in this direction and then make a right-hand turn to go down the primary corridor into the tombs, which means I'm going to have to do something with this area here. The simplest thing would be to simply block off this little section here and make this solid, so you still have this tomb and this tomb, and you'll have to zigzag around. It will no longer be perfectly symmetrical, but I think that'll work. Then over here, we have this staircase that goes up and connects the whole thing to here. And that's going to have to also get some sort of a right elbow in it. But that shouldn't be too difficult. The next little task I have are these level offsets. In the actual module, these two side wing tombs are down, I'm guessing, about 10 feet. The tomb of the parents of Strahd should be a 10-foot drop to the landing, and then another 10-foot drop to the tomb itself. However, the way I have this measured out, the tomb looks like it's only 10 feet down, so I might have to make some manipulations there. Then, of course, these two prisons are sunken to some extent, and then this level is raised. So I think between balancing all those out, I should be able to nail it pretty close. Once I get that done, I'll be ready to export this thing into Blender and start doing the internals of the walkthrough keep. And of course, start working on the exterior sculpting to make the outside castle look nice. Still got a few stairwell conundrums to solve, like getting this thing to. I think it's going to have several landings coming up to this level because it's a large height to traverse with a 20 by 20 cube. Same thing over here with the landing that I mentioned in the last video. This has to be twisted around. So I'm not going to make the staircase the full 20 feet. I'll probably make it 10 feet in the middle, or maybe have it widen out to 20 feet, but narrow up, and then turn in this upper part in sort of a semi-spiral. Again, I might just wait till I have this thing in Blender to do those staircases. We'll see. So I'll check in this weekend with some more progress. I probably will not get anything done over the next couple of days because life is busy. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this short update to the building the 3D Ravenloft project. Have a good night.